Hey, this is Dylan Brandon with DylanBrandon.com, and today I'm going to show you how to stream to Twitch and record local files using Open Broadcaster software or OBS. So let's go ahead and get started. As you can see, I already have scenes set up, and basically these scenes are set up for individual games or uses that I would use Open Broadcaster software for. And right now I'm using the recording one to actually record this video, so sorry about the repetition back here. But basically you would just right click the scenes section and add a scene, and then you can name it whatever you would like. And once you finish creating or naming that scene, you'll have the sources section completely blank here, and you would then add different sources for your recording or your stream over to Twitch or wherever else you are streaming your content. But you can put in images such as my little logo up here, or my most common gaming name or handle, and even the webcam here. So how you would do that is in the sources section you can right click and click on add or drag over add, and it will give you several different options here. You can even do a slideshow and select different images that you want to pass by every so often, and you can submit one image. You can even do GIFs, and I'll go ahead and show you one of those right now. Normally I would name it Pika Run. I'm not sure if that will interfere since I already have something named that, so I'll just do it Pika Run 2. Click OK on that. I'll go ahead and browse to the picture that I want to put in my Open Broadcaster software here. I believe that is, yep, right here. And I'll go ahead and click on OK after I've located the picture. And I'll click OK on that. And then here's a little Pikachu running on my screen. And that is a little bit of an awkward place to have Pikachu running there. So what you can do is click on Edit Scene, and it will put a little red outline around what you are choosing to edit. So you can not only do that with the Pikachu running, but you'll be able to move any piece of content in Open Broadcaster software around. Even the webcam, I've got my little website logo here, the handle that I normally use. You can even move around the entire screen capture, which I'm not sure why exactly. I don't have a use for it, but if you have multiple window captures, then you could size those up to where you can stream both at the same time. We'll go ahead and just move Pikachu right here in the corner and make him a bit smaller there so he's not in the way of everything. And then once you're done, make sure you click on Edit Scene again so you can't accidentally move around anything. For some reason my headset turns off periodically whenever I'm not listening to anything there, but it may happen a few more times. I don't know. But once you set up your scene with all of your sources, you'll need to go into the settings so you can edit those to stream directly to Twitch or directly to a place on your hard drive so you can record locally. So you go to Settings, and with General, I really never touch that, but you can name your setting profile and such. I just leave it at the default. But what we're really looking for here is encoding, which is the first step that we need to take. Depending on your internet connection, this number and this number are going to change. Honestly, I have a alright internet connection. It's 60 megabits down and about 11 up. So I can set this to 3000 and stream pretty comfortably. I just use CBR, so it automatically defines the quality balance for me based on, I believe it's the connection that I have. And then with audio encoding, I know with Twitch, the bit rate, the sweet spot is probably going to be 128. And the codec needs to be at AAC. I believe it actually takes up less bandwidth, and 44.1 kilohertz stereo. I'm not a sound engineer or anything. Those are just the settings that I found on forums and such to say that it works better. But the broadcast settings are the most important part. So in order to stream to Twitch, actually let's cover the streaming locally or recording locally. Under broadcast settings, there's two options. There's the live stream, which would be to Twitch, and then there's file output only, which would be to your own computer, so you can record and upload it at your own pace, so you don't have to stream everything. But anyway, you would choose the file path. As you can see, I've got it in my desktop folder named tutorials, and you would name it whatever you would like to, and I just have it set to broadcast. So if I were to stop the recording that I'm doing now and then start a new one, it would name it broadcast 1 and 2 and so on and so forth every time I record again. And then you can set hotkeys here to start and stop your stream or recordings. And that's really about it for the settings in regards to output to your own computer. These settings with video, you would choose your graphics card if you have one. If you only have the onboard graphics from your CPU, you would choose that. And then we have the base resolution here, which would actually be your screen size or what resolution your monitor's at, which in my case would be 1920 by 1080. And you can also choose which monitor that you want to use. And since I have 3 monitors, I just choose the source as a, let me show you real quickly. You can go to add and then monitor capture, and I just choose one of the 3, whichever I'm using at the time. But back to the settings, you can choose to downscale it, which if you're streaming to Twitch and your connection isn't as high as you would like it to be, then you can downscale to 720, which would be right here or any of these other options, and it would take up less bandwidth, which would make your stream less laggy and be a lot more pleasing to the eye if you're trying to, or it would be more pleasing to the eye compared to if you were streaming 1080 and not able to stream it correctly with the bandwidth that you have available. And I keep it at 30 frames per second. That seems pretty steady. I used to do it in 60 frames per second, but that seemed to give me a little bit of lag. So 30 was a sweet spot for me. Again, sorry for my headset going out, but as I was saying, that is the sweet spot for me, and yeah, it seems to work best. And with audio here, you can choose your desktop audio device. So let's say that you're playing League of Legends and you're getting the audio coming through your optical jack, which is how I have it. Then I would choose the digital audio. There's also an option for my speakers and my headset, which is technically what I'm wearing, but I've got my headset set up to where it hears anything my optical jack is since it's plugged in through that. So anything you want to be heard on your recording or your stream, you would choose here. That's coming from your computer. And if you have a microphone, then you will want to choose it here, which would be my Astro A50 headset, and I also have my webcam's microphone here available as well. There's a push to talk option. I don't use that. I can just flip up my mic if I don't want somebody to hear me, so that's pretty convenient for me, but really that's up to you. Then there's other hotkeys for muting slash unmuting your mic and desktop noise. And really with desktop boost and auxiliary boost, I have never touched it. I don't have a reason to, or the mic time offset. And with this, I believe very fast was the default setting for me. I know with Twitch, you should use the encoding profile main. That's what I'm using right now for recording files locally, and it seems to be working fine. So I would recommend these settings. If you find something better, feel free. And nothing else on this page I have really touched, so it's not necessary to record to Twitch. I'm sorry, stream to Twitch or record locally. We'll go back to the broadcast settings. We've already went over everything that we need to do here for the file output. Now with the live stream, if you're streaming to Twitch or Justin TV, you would choose that option. There's a whole lot of other options here, including YouTube. I tried to stream to YouTube. I was successful in doing so. I just don't like their interface. I love uploading videos to YouTube, but Twitch would be my preference for streaming. Normally with the server, you would choose the closest geographical server to yourself, which in my case is Dallas. And with the stream key, this is where you need to find it on your Twitch account. So let me go ahead and pull up my Twitch stream here. I'm currently offline, obviously, but you'll go to the Twitch homepage. I'll pause that so it doesn't interfere here. And go
what do you mean by who are? I mean, who are any of us?
It looks like it's still interfering here. All right, there we go. And you'll go up to your name here and click the drop down, and you'll click on Dashboard. And here you'll see your live recorded highlights and so on. And then you'll see a section here called Stream Key. So whenever you click on that, it will pop up with this page, and of course anyone can use the stream key to broadcast to your channel, so do not show it on video. So I'm not going to. But you'll go ahead and click this show key, and then it will pop up right next to the button right here. And then you'll copy and paste it. And then you'll put it right here. Now, from what I've heard, people get hit and miss with the stream key that they have. So once you actually click that show key, if that one doesn't work, you can click on reset key or get new key, and it'll generate a new one for you. So just keep trying those keys, and one of them will work eventually. It's worked on the first time for me every time. I've just heard of people having to do it more than once. So now that we've got the stream key put in, auto reconnect is checkmarked by default. So is auto reconnect timeout. I have no delay set, although Twitch does have about a 20-second delay right now, which is unfortunate. But let's see. You can set hotkeys to start and stop your stream. I used to have those, but I've reinstalled OBS so many times that I just haven't bothered with them yet. Let's see what is next here. Okay. I'll go ahead and click no for saving those settings. With the keyframe interval, it should actually be set to 2. And fortunately, I believe I may have changed that because I was trying to stream to YouTube, but it is recommended that you set the keyframe interval to 2. It's on Twitch's website that's recommended. And microphone noise gate, never touched it, probably never going to. Everybody can hear me fine in my streams. I assume you can hear me okay in my recording, so I just prefer not to touch it. Browser, this is something that I use to, it's actually a plugin that you can download. Let's say that I'm on Twitch and I get a new follower, then I have a little banner that pops up saying new follower and then their username on Twitch. Now, I'll make another tutorial about that at some given point, but that's really not necessary for this one. But other than that, once we have the encoding set up to your appropriate speed, the broadcast settings in the stream's case, have your stream key all set up that you're streaming to Twitch and it's a live stream, and your closest geographical server. Nope. And then your video adapter and the resolution that you're trying to stream at and the FPS, and again 30 is probably a pretty good sweet spot. And with the audio, just make sure you have everything that you want heard in your stream or recording set up here. And with advance, again, the only thing that I mess with here is the keyframe interval at 2 seconds. And and make sure that the times 264 encoding profile is set to main, and the CPU preset, it was on very fast for me already, so I did not touch it. And after all of that, you'll make sure that you click apply so you don't lose any of those settings, and then OK. I'll just click cancel since I already have everything saved. You can click on start streaming and it will give the bit rate and the frames per second that you're going at, your recording time, and then the amount of dropped frames. If you're streaming and you have a large percent of dropped frames, you may want to drop your bit rate down, or maybe even downscale it to 720p if you're streaming at 1080. Really, you just have to play with those settings to find your sweet spot. As I said, I have kind of an OP connection right now, so I don't really need to worry about that stuff anymore. I used to, but really you just have to mess with the bit rate yourself and the resolution that you're streaming at. Astroway 50s. I know this happens for everybody, but automatically turned off again because I'm not listening to anything. But yeah, just toy with the bit rate and the resolution and you'll find your sweet spot, and just make sure that you have 0% dropped frames so your viewers aren't having a hard time and they don't miss a team fight or anything like that. And really, that's all there is. If you have any questions about how to set a specific thing up, comments below, feel free to message me, and I'll also put a link to my website, dylanbrandon.com, and feel free to follow me on Twitch. It's twitch.tv/DylanFosterBrandon. I'll put a link below for that as well. Thanks for watching, guys. Feel free to subscribe.